Hello everyone. Cheers and thank you for joining me for this weekly episodic run. Today's installment is the Monday Night Raw episode from the 28th of April, which is last night. Today's reading that I have with my cards here and references, we'll be looking at the program and just the business side of things and just seeing if whatever was presented last night is a permanent thing. Should we invest in it? Should we look forward to anything from the show moving forward? So that's the goal. Let me set the table up. Okay. I did watch the highlights. I didn't watch the whole show. I'm not gonna be honest, but I'm a bit aware of what's at play. So last week's episode was pretty important. I wasn't able to cover the Monday Night Raw show, but I did, give a special fast impression for the channel, which was the WrestleMania read. So there was a lot that came up. I will look into that as well because we did conclude with seeing that there was a lot of issues with the brand partners. So basically Netflix or just the boardroom and just who they partner with. There's definitely communication that is not as intended as it should be. So this that is at play as well. So I'll kind of look into that. So the segments to me personally, I'm just gonna start off the video before I channel anything. Um, to me, Monday Night Raw, I think, is being made out to be a mild show. It's not this overly seasoned product. It's supposed to just be mild. That's how I feel they kind of approach the Mondays anyway. Like, it's not random, in my opinion, but it's a bit mild. I don't know. It's just that's how I've always seen it. So let's see what's going on with the partnerships. So if you're not aware of what happened, you can go and check out my last video, then you'll know. So let's see if there are any updates. So my question now is, are there any updates with so ideally the last time I filmed, I did mention that Netflix was having an issue with WWE's positioning and how they I think it was more of like I think it was just brand positioning. I think there's a lot of expectations from Netflix and obviously there's budgets involved and we saw that they're they're kind of in the process of making a decision to either leave WWE or just work with them on a more of a side, situation or scenario. So what's come out is the Three of Wands reversed. So we have Page of Cups, we have Four of Cups, and we have the Hangman. Um, this is a neutral spread already. So we're gonna see what this means before I speak further. Yeah. So, like I said, this is ideally choosing who we want to be with long term. So it's reversed. So this means our the intentions are kind of shifting, right? It's going backwards, right? So the intentions are shifting. So, like I said, the partnership is a little bit on like on a truce. I would say this kind of represents a truce, in my opinion. So we have the page. So this is sensitivity, right? This is also expressing yourself in a sentimental way, in an attachment. So there's okay. So we've seen that there's a sense of expression, but it's coming from uh, a sensitive place. The Four of Cups. So okay, okay. Yeah. So this to me is um, I think it's like projection. It's like projecting that you're expecting more, or you're disappointed with the status of what's going on. And we've seen Page of Cups. So I do believe this is WWE. This is a young energy in terms of exploring. And I told you Monday Night Raw feels very mild. It's not, and it's the most featured program on Netflix at least. So I'm assuming there's an issue with there's definitely an imbalance for sure because their visions are not matching up, right? Because this person is discontented. This is Netflix. So they're the fourth cups. They're discontented and they're bored. That's the energy they're in. Um, yeah, they're waiting. They're waiting to see. They're still in a waiting period. So I'm assuming there's scheduled meetup. This can kind of represent like knowing something is coming up, so you're waiting for it. So I think the next, is there anything else that's new that's coming up? Probably Backlash. Um, yeah, it could have to do with Backlash. We saw we did see the three of wands reversed. Yeah, this is just, to me, this also can feel like someone who doesn't, it can feel like interdependence instead of independence. So I feel like this could be WWE asking Netflix what do they want from them. So Netflix is receiving it in a they're a bit dissatisfied because they're wondering why would you come to us about your product, right? I mean, like WWE is responsible for their own product, right? So that's how it should be. So there's a bit of a stalemate energy. So there's a bit of like a truce. Okay, so let's get into the show itself. So we're 10 minutes in. So my goal is to do it for like at least 30 minutes or 35 minutes. So the um the first hour of the show, what was the reasoning behind the first hour of the show? What was the point? What were they trying to achieve in the first hour of the show? Okay, so the first hour of the show is all about for them what they were trying to do with the first hour of the show, which I'm assuming should be up as well. Anyways, I didn't watch the show, but I'm going to just show you what I'm getting from it. Um, so here, what they're showing us is um, so they're looking for the next generational talent. So this is what they're trying to set up on Raw. So since we don't have the whole main roster shakeup, what was it called? The roster, the thing, the brand shakeup. Probably saying it wrong, but there's a need for generational. They're looking for the next star to build, in my opinion. So that generational crossover star. So I've seen Stephanie was highlighted on Raw and also Roxanne and Julia. So could be that. So we have Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is just like I said. It's yeah, it's just identifying what next. How do we what else is needed to who is the next face of Raw, basically Monday Night Raw, right? So they're trying to figure out who is the perfect like who captures the the casual fan, who can capture the deeper kayfabe fans, who can kind of align that for them. So that's kind of what they're trying to get out of that. So the next card is Knight of Wands. It came out sideways. Um, so let's see what this means. So the Wands card generally represents confidence or visionary. So and it's usually the slowest card. So okay, so they're trying to see if this specific superstars that they're pushing, they're trying to see if they'll get over on their own, or if they start pushing them in our faces, they're trying to. It's an experimental card, in my opinion. But it's they're experimenting based on like they've done this before with someone else, so they know how to start this cycle. So because this cycle is sideways, right? So it means they kind of there's an awareness of let's say maybe you see how they pushed Paige when she debuted on Raw in 2014. It was like it's like crossbreeding. This is how I feel. It's like okay, if we put the NXT champion on the middle of our show, if she does get a big pop, do we just bring them up as a champion, or do we over push? Do we overdo it with merchandise, putting them on every pay per view, putting them on backstage segment, like that whole idea? This is ideation. So we have the strength card in reversed. So hmm, strength card is in reversed. Yeah, this is being they're contradicting themselves. So because there's a contradiction here for sure, right? Because it's like, to me, this reads as it can be overbearing. This is like an overbearing presence. So I don't know if they want to overdo the whole Julia. I've seen even Pat McAfee was, hopefully that's how you say his name. So I've seen there's that idea of wanting to put them out there. Like it's like almost like the egg hatches, and then you've already put the chick out there. It's already like, to me, it just feels overdone. It's like, think about it like how it's like an industry plan, in my opinion, right? So I think this is what they're kind of stuck in. So let's look at hour two. What happened in hour two? What was their goal? What was their reasoning? Okay. So we have the King of Cups sideways. Um, King of Cups sideways. So like I said, this is like crossbreeding. This is always my card of like, it's like, how do I say this? Cups. Yeah, this is like reverse engineering, in my opinion. So whoever is, this is about the writers, people who write the stories and the segments. This is about them. So I wouldn't say they have writer's block, but I would say um, there's a sense of, it's almost like being fascinated with something, but you're not really in tune with its actual strengths and weaknesses. So there's something that they want to. It's like an exaggeration, in my opinion, of, gosh, yeah, it's this is like an exaggeration of. I don't know if this like could be, because I did see the tag team. There's an exaggeration with the story they're doing. It's not really. It's about fascination, but it's not in tune. It's not. It doesn't make sense for us. We're not receiving it. So we have the Three of Cups. Yeah, this has to do with the team, and that's why I was thinking tag team, and I did see that the Judgment Day lost, I think, to the, I don't know their names, but yeah, this is like a team or just a lot of people together. Could be Judgment Day. So I don't know if they're about to break them up. Yeah, could be. They could want to do an angle with the Judgment Day. Um, so we have Knight of Cups. It's a knight in shining armor. Hmm, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's an angle they want to proceed with um, in the tag team division. So I think this could be even be um, You know how they have MVP in AEW, so I think they want someone who can like they want like a manager or like you know how Zelina Vega used to be like a manager. They want this type of presence back in the tag team division. Even how like Sanity in NXT, they used to have that guy, the bald guy, as their manager. They want someone like a representative. So I don't know what tag team is going to get. And we have the Empress, exactly. This is the mother. So someone who can, you know, be a coach, the one who's um talking on behalf of, a team. So I think this is just giving a voice. Maybe there's a tag team they want to push. Maybe yeah, we'll see how this goes because they definitely want to develop that. This is more of a tag team. Is there anything else they want to say for the second half of the show? Okay, so we have that, we have this, we have that, and we have that. So the next cards are the Seven of Cups, followed by the High Priestess in reversed, the Hierophant, and the Tower in reversed. So we're going to start with the Seven of Cups. So this usually means a lot of outcomes or illusions. So a lot of outcomes. A lot of outcomes. Okay, so there's a lot of ideas that they want to try. So the second hour of the show is basically them just rewriting stories that they've already finished. So um, let's say they used to do, so they want to get inspired by how other writers used to write stories. So I do see they like to reference, like let's say you see how like we have this music composers called I think they're called Def Rebel. So you see how they are so different from CFOs, the previous composers. So now the writers they're going back and looking back at okay, what did they used to do in this type of scenarios, right? When they can't find anything to write, but they need the show to go on. So right, this is going backwards. So they're looking backwards at what can they pull from from their their records. And then we have the next card is the Hierophant. Yeah, this is tradition. So like I said, something that they know it's not, it's like a bathroom break. It's like where do we put the commercials? It's those little small aspects that make the, because at the second hour of the show we're kind of all tired or just looking for the next snack or just kind of waiting to see what they're gonna say about the main event. This could also be the commentators as well. So the tower is reversed. Yeah, like I said, they don't want to disrupt how they where they get their ideas from. So anytime they feel stuck, they just run it back and just see what can be pulled from the records, from their archives, and just write it as a fresh story. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on in the last hour of the show. a minute. So let's see what's going on in the last hour of the show. Pentacles, followed by the Page of Pentacles reversed. Followed by the Justice card. Followed by the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So King of Pentacles. So, okay. Established. Okay, so the third hour, the priority is to use the main stars, the biggest stars on the show. That's not even a debate. So their goal with the show, every I think this, I would say probably all the Monday Night Raws, the goal is to preserve the stars for the last hour. So in this case, whoever is going to bring the most views. But we have Page Pentacles in reversed. So I think this could be Jay also, because this is like a graduation card. Like I'm going from high school to university. Then once I get my bachelor's, I get a master's. So this kind of is the energy. So they're trying to establish how they can they keep that main event Jey Uso thing going. Who's going to be the next possible person to, I wouldn't say take him down, but just who's the next person in line, I would say. Right? Who are they going to give the push to, the graduation card? So we have the Justice card. Justice card. So to me, this is like karma. So whoever they get to push next, it's going to happen naturally. It's not going to be manufactured. It's not going to be someone they pick. It will just kind of fall into their laps. But this is someone who's, in my opinion, who's, I don't know if this could be Penta or just someone who's ready. Like, it's almost like when the food is almost cooked, but it needs a little bit like extra 5 minutes. So this is what it represents. But for now, this person could be injured. Yeah, this is probably someone who's injured or, oh, yeah, or injured or just, could be something to do with injuries or just um, probably health issues or just someone who's prioritizing home stuff right now. So I'm not sure who this individual is, but there's a program for someone for sure. I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's a comeback. I think this could be a comeback for someone as well. So there's a planned comeback for someone. So, so I think that's a full rundown of the show. Um, was this the best they could have done with their resources and timing and everything? The best they could have done. So we have the Page of Swords upwards, we have the Star reversed, we have the Eight of Swords reversed, and we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. So to me, this is neutral. Like I said, Page of Swords is what's going to what's going to make the most buzz or not upset. What's going to make the most noise is okay. So the question we've asked is this the best they could have done? Yes and no. Because I told you with Monday Night Raw, it feels like a mild show. It feels like I'm watching Friends, the series. It's like it's mild. It's not Game of Thrones, but it's not flavored down as well. So it's like they want to kind of remain a topic of conversation. So I mean there's a bit of effort with that, I would say. So the star is reversed. Um Star is reversed. To me this is ego issues. Yeah, this could be ego issues. Okay, so there's a little bit of like they are aware that Monday Night Raw can only reach a specific target for like viewership per week. So there's a little bit of like um they're not in they're not unaware of that Monday Night Raw is not it's not the best Monday Night Raw um era in my opinion. So they are aware of that. So that's why I think they're utilizing they want people to talk about the show. So Eight of Swords is vast. But they don't blame us for not watching enough or not having the views they think they need. Like I said, there's a level of awareness, I would say. So they're not stuck on like, oh, it should be this. No, I don't think they're stuck on that, which is a good thing. So Two of Pentacles is reversed. Mm. But yeah, this is to do with money. So they still feel like Monday Night Raw doesn't make the most money or isn't like their gold pot, right? It's starting to feel like a difficult process to put together. And I think it's visible. Like when you watch the highlights, you can tell there's just a lack of direction in terms of what to stick to. Right? And we talked about that in the beginning. Like, what are they willing to stick to? So, Two of Pentacles is reversed. So, this is difficulty and a little bit of embarrassment. Maybe this is saying one thing and not being able to. Because remember, the partnership is with Netflix. So, if they're asked to, have a certain number of viewership to attract investors, to attract shareholders, It's not happening. So, but that's they can't blame it on us. Purely, that's just the previous management. I'm not going to get into it, but you guys know why the show is the way it is. So let's do a final rating and let's conclude. So it's the rating of the show in in totality. The rating of the show. Okay, so it fell on the ground. So it's Seven of Swords. Mm. Like I said, there's just a like lack of direction, in my opinion. Yeah, or just like lack of sensibility, right? Yeah, whatever they're relying on is not, it's betraying them. So seven, to me, I would say it's not a good rating. Um, and swords is very much, it's a very harsh thing because like it's the tongue, it's communication. So how they are viewed by even like the podcasts and people who rate the show is very low, very it's just do better, you know. So that's it for the Monday Night Raw 20th of April coverage. Thank you for sticking around. If you have any video suggestions, that would be great. Put them down below. I'll see if I'll do anything to do. I want to also analyze the upcoming pay-per-views. I know Evolution is coming up, so I want to check that as well. And just if I see anything extra, it should be on the channel. Rest assured. So thank you so much for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one.